I was able to generate $150,000 in net profits on one storage deal, all because of the simple direct mail letter that I'm about to share with you. My name is Alex Pardo, and in this video, I'm going to break down a very simple direct mail letter that I have been using for years to generate significant profits, not just in self storage, but this can also be used with single family homes and other assets. My favorite is storage for numerous reasons. You can watch one of my previous videos, houses versus storage. But in this particular video, you're going to be able to swipe and deploy. I encourage you to copy this letter because I'm going to break down why it was so effective. But before I show you the letter, let me break down the story of how this happened. So this is the letter that I've been using for years. And while I've made some tweaks and adjustments along the way, I sent out this letter to about 400 to 500 storage owner operators. And I received a phone call from this lady in Louisiana who owned a storage facility. And she told me, Alex, we've never spoken before, but you sent me this letter 2 years ago. And usually I get a lot of letters, and I always throw them away, but I kept this particular letter because it felt very personal and you have a beautiful family. So that is literally what she told me. And I said, "Well, that's interesting. So you got my letter 2 years ago, but you're calling today?" She says, "Yeah, I had always thought about selling my storage facility, but I didn't feel the time was right. And I kept your letter in one of my drawers. I had been looking for it and I came across it. So wanted to call you to see if you were still interested in buying my storage facility." Well, um, fast forward a couple of months, we ended up buying that storage facility for $400,000, and we ended up selling it shortly after for $550,000. So we were able to generate $150,000 net profit on this one storage deal. And it was all driven because of this simple letter I'm about to share with you. This letter unlocked a conversation with a sweet lady that ended up being an amazing deal for us. Now, what I'm about to do is show you this letter, and I'm going to break down for you why I think it's so effective. But before I do that, I asked her on closing day, I said, you know, what was it about this letter that made you keep it and ultimately prompted you to call me? And she says, well, it was a couple different things. It was number one, it felt very personalized. I felt like you wrote it to me. And that's one of the things that when it comes to direct response marketing, when it comes to direct mail, you want to write the letter as if you are writing to a friend or family member. In fact, one of the things that I like to do as a sniff test is to share my letter with my mother, with other people in my family, typically older people, because storage owners, on average, I would say the majority of the storage owners that we work with are probably between 55 and 70, 75 years of age. So you want to make sure that you're sharing the letter with people in the same age range that the person's going to receive the letter, and get some feedback and ask them, hey, does this letter speak to you? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Does it feel commercial? Does it feel canned? What would make you want to open the letter? And that's a whole nother conversation because I like to use invitation style envelopes, 5x7. We always handwrite the outside of the envelope. We put a live forever stamp. In fact, one of the tricks that I like to do is put 2 or 3 stamps on the 5x7 invitation style envelope so that it's different. It stands out from the crowd. So anyway, I asked her, and she says, the letter spoke to me. It was very personalized. And you had a picture of your family. And I thought that was very endearing. That was the exact word she used. I thought that was very endearing. So now, granted, if you're watching this and you don't have, kids and you're not married, and then I'm not telling, do not use a stock image online, right? Like it could be a picture of you and a pet. It could be a picture of you and your parents. But I thought it was an interesting touch, and I've gotten a lot of comments about my family in this letter. Now, you may or may not be comfortable doing that. I was, and this letter has not only led to $150,000 in net profit, but we were able to buy a storage facility on 90% seller financing because of this same letter as well. In fact, this letter has been responsible for numerous deals throughout the years. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and do a screen share on my, I'm going to do a screen share on my iPad if I can find the screen as I fumble around here. So here we go. Screen share. You should see it pop up any second now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down. And this is why I believe this letter is so effective. So here it is. Um, One of the first things you're going to want to do is you want to direct the letter to the first name of the person who you're sending the letter to, if at all possible. In this particular case, one of the things that I teach my storage coaching clients in our Storage Wins coaching community is how to generate and curate a list of storage owners, how to go out and find out their name, figure out who owns it, their mailing address, their contact information when possible. So this particular letter was directed, as you can see here, to Aaron. So you see his name right here. My name is Alex Pardo. I'm writing to introduce myself. My wife and I purchased a self-storage facility last year, and we're actively looking to purchase another facility. So one of the things that you want to do with your letters is you want to keep the sentences short and punchy. I like to keep my letters on one page. You don't want to do pages and pages, right? Because people don't have time. Time is very precious for people. So you want to make the sentences in the paragraph short and punchy to the point. So as you can see here, right off the bat, I'm introducing myself. I'm letting them know why I'm writing. And then right here, now in this particular case, I already owned a storage facility. So this was factual. My wife and I did purchase a storage facility last year. And the benefit, I think, to saying that is that, hey, I'm like you. We're together. We're both storage owner operators. Now, when I first got into self storage and I sent out a direct mail campaign, I didn't do this. I said, I have been actively looking to purchase a self storage facility. So never ever lie. Always be genuine, be authentic, be yourself. I think fake it till you make it, act as if is not great advice, in my opinion. So if you're not married, don't say my wife and I or my husband and I. If you don't own a storage facility, don't say you own a storage facility. Just be truthful. Like, people want to connect with real people that are going to be authentic and genuine. So don't feel like you need to fake it till you make it. So I said storage facility, and we're actively looking to purchase another facility. That's why I'm writing. I wanted to touch base with you about your property. And then here, I blocked it out. Here's where you put the name of the storage facility. And you can use any direct mail fulfillment company, or you can do a simple mail merge for some of these elements. For the storage owner's name, for the name of the storage facility, you want to put that in there. That way, the person that receives it knows that, hey, this is personalized. This is not just a letter that, went out to a lot of people, even though it is. But you're putting the specific name of their storage facility. And then we continue here. I was wondering if you had considered selling that facility. Now, let me pause here for a second, and I'm going to highlight this word considered. In fact, let me go here and let me actually highlight it for you. Considered. Why do I like to use the word considered? When you say, hey, would you sell me your property? It's very yes and no, very black and white. To me, the word consider unlocks possibilities in the person's mind. It's, well, hey, maybe I've considered it, right? And what you're doing is, the purpose of your letter is just to get them one step down the road. And ultimately, the call to action, as you're about to see, is for them to pick up the phone and call you. Like, that's ultimately what you want. So I like to use the word considered. Have you ever considered selling that facility? And notice what I did here, either now or in the future. And the fact that I put that one line, in addition to something else I'm about to share with you, is part of the reason that this lady kept this letter for 2 years in her drawer and then called me to sell that facility. So, if so, it would be an honor to talk to you about buying it whenever the time is right for you. Whenever the time is right for you. Now, why do I like whenever the time is right for you? Because I'm not like everybody else that's sending letters that's saying, hey, I'll buy with cash and I'll close in 3 days and I'll buy in your timeline. Like, that's very common in the single family houses world, right? In storage, I want to give them the power. I want to let them know that, hey, whenever the time is right for you, I'm ready to have a conversation. And then I said, I really like working directly with property owners whenever possible, rather than through agents. It's just nice to speak directly directly when possible. So you see, the tone of the letter to me is friendly, it's inviting, it's engaging, it's very non-threatening. I'm not using like hard-hitting language like close fast and this and that. Like, it's just, this is how I would want somebody to write my mother or my wife or a family member. And then notice what I did here. I underlined this. Would you be up for a brief phone call to explore that conversation at some point? Question mark. If the timing is not right for you at this moment, and this is the part that I think one of the reasons she kept this letter, please keep my letter. Let me highlight this. Please keep my letter and give me a buzz whenever you're ready to chat. This gives people a reason to hold on to it. Because if that person has ever considered selling that storage facility or that property or whatever it is, they're going to hold on to this, especially if the letter speaks to them in the way that I think this letter speaks to people. I have included my mobile number, right? I'm not some big company. I'm not some corporation. You're not going to call an 800 number. You're not going to speak to some operator in India. I have included my mobile number below. So feel free to call or text me. Guys, this is big right here. Call or text. There are some people that don't want to speak to people, believe it or not. There are some people that I have actually closed deals primarily by texting with people, right? So you can absolutely do deals by now. I prefer to communicate and actually speak to the person. It's easier to build rapport. It's easier to like understand where they're coming from, their tone. So I'm not saying I prefer text, but some people do, and I want to give them that option. So I have included my phone number below. So feel free to call or text me if you'd like. Thank you so much. And then you can tell that it kind of looks like I wrote my name in cursive, if that's even a thing anymore. I haven't written in cursive since I was a kid, but this was generated by a direct mail fulfillment company. And then there's my name, and then I have my phone number, my actual mobile number, and then my Gmail address. Now, notice what I did there. I used my Gmail. I didn't use my company domain. That's very intentional. I want to relate to them on a human to human, person to person level. I'm just a dude. In fact, that's exactly what I allude to in my PS, and always have a postscript, always have a PS. If I'm not able to pick up, please leave me a voicemail. I'm just a regular family guy raising two little princesses with my wife, and they keep us busy. And if you know me and you know my girls, that's 100% true. They absolutely keep us busy. They are a handful. This is actually an old picture. This is my beautiful wife and my two girls. So this picture was taken years ago. Probably need to update this. But I cannot tell you how many comments I've gotten from people that say, you have such a beautiful family, your girls, how old are they? And it opens up conversation, and it allows me to connect with the person, right? I'm just connecting with another person. So take the pressure off. Don't be intimidated. Sometimes I work with coaching clients that might be intimidated because it's a bigger asset class and you're buying a storage facility, or you're talking to a business owner or a storage owner. No big deal. Most of the time I find storage operators, they're just regular people, the mom and pops that have owned and operated these things for years. And oftentimes they're getting ready to retire. So this letter, feel free to swipe and deploy it. If you want a copy of this letter, reach out to me, comment below, and we'll get you over a copy of this letter. But now, one thing I will share with you is whenever you're doing any type of marketing, you want to split test. You want to test because you might tweak something that can get you a better response rate. That can deliver more calls. This has proven to be very, very effective for us. And what I've outlined and highlighted here, I think are the reasons why. As an aside, if you really want to take it to another level, if you handwrite this letter, and you can work with direct mail fulfillment companies that have technology that it's actual like handwriting, but it's done by a machine, and it's like authentic. It's the real thing. I have found those to be even better, right? So I like to use wet signatures if I'm gonna have a printed letter like this, a wet signature if possible, and then always, always, always handwrite or have somebody handwrite the 5x7 envelopes, the invitation style envelopes. There's a lot more we can talk about when it comes to direct mail and effective direct mail strategies and direct response marketing, but I just wanted to share with you a secret weapon. This letter has been responsible for numerous deals throughout the years, and it's been responsible for two storage deals over the last couple of years. The most recent was $150,000 net profit on one deal, and it wouldn't have happened if this letter wasn't crafted the way it was where it was inviting, it was friendly, it was engaging, it was personable, right? Or personalized. And it had a specific, a very direct call to action, non in a non-threatening way. And it also invited the person to keep the letter. And then again, you may or may not be comfortable including a picture of your family. Clearly, I was, and it has opened up the doors to a lot of really interesting and cool conversations with people. So that is what I have for you on today's video. Now, I'm going to continue to put out more videos about storage and how this asset class can change your life. So make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe, and check out whatever video pops up on here. Catch you on the next one.